So let's jump to page 1 by pressing Command J or Control J on Windows to invoke the jump command, enter 1, and click OK. Now on this page we're going to look at the issue of placing vector Illustrator files. That's right, not only can we place native Photoshop files, we can also place native Illustrator files. But before we do that, let's look up here in the Layers panel. We already have a layer called Images. Now we want to create another layer for our vector content. So press Option or Alt on Windows and click the New button here at the bottom of the panel to create and automatically name a new layer called Vectors. When you're done, press OK. And now on this new Vectors layer, we'll start placing some vector content. Just choose File, Place, and navigate to the Lesson 1 project files inside Images, and we'll select the launchtitle.ai file. That's a native Illustrator file, and make sure that the Show Import options are enabled here at the bottom. When you're ready, click Open. And notice here at the bottom we have several cropping options. For example, you might crop this artwork to the media size, which in this case is the entire size of the Illustrator artboard. Not really what we want to do. Instead, we want to crop it just to the art area, a much more reasonable selection, and then press OK. Now notice before I place this file that we have a nice preview of the image that we're placing, and the place cursor shows the Adobe PDF icon reminding us that the native file format of Illustrator is actually Adobe PDF. So I'll just click and place that image down. Now to make sure this image fits the page, I can grab the right side of this frame and bring it into the margin. But you'll notice that the artwork obviously doesn't quite fit anymore. So we'll use our frame fitting options here at the top in the control panel, and we have several options available to us. The one we're going to choose is Fit Content Proportionally. That will fit it right inside the frame. And then the next option we're going to choose is Fit Frame to Content. That means we won't have any stray frame there. We'll just click that and it will tidy up our layout. Now, so far we've been placing content and creating frames at the same time. However, if you come from maybe Quark Express, you might be more familiar with the workflow of creating a frame and then placing content inside of it. And we can do that as well in InDesign. So I've just chosen the Frame tool, drag a frame out at the bottom of the page, and choose File, Place. This time I'm going to grab logo.ai that's inside the Images folder for Lesson 1 and click Open. Again, making sure that the bounding box is set to the Art area, and click OK. Now in this case you can see that we've really cropped this file because the logo is much larger than the area that we've allocated for it. So up here in the control panel, again, we'll fit the content proportionally. And then we can center the content as well. Now the last thing we want to do related to placing vector content inside of this layout is choose the selection tool to make sure the content is still selected and choose Edit, Copy. And for the sake of consistency, we'll paste this logo into the same place on page 2. So again, go back to the Pages panel, double-click on page 2, and this time choose Edit, Paste in Place. That'll place the logo perfectly there at the bottom. My only concern is it's a little bit large. So up here in the control panel, I'll click the Scale Percentage, type in, let's say, 50%, and because the link icon here is selected, when I press Return, it will change both values at the same time. That's looking much better. I'll slide this down to the bottom of the page by holding Shift to constrain the angle of movement, and this layout is really taking shape.